watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Coming up on GHS Insider, this story is brought to you by the letter G. Our buildings have many letters, but what do they mean? Reporter Michelle Yu gives us a letter lesson. New year, new schedule. But how do students and teachers really feel about the change?
It gives us that enough flexibility to be able to do what we need to do with the students.
Friday Cafe needs your help. How your organization can help sweeten up the teacher's day.
The most ideal situation is for clubs and teams and sponsors and groups of friends to volunteer and say, hey, we want to sponsor it.
For those stories and more, just ahead.
Hello and welcome to GHS Insider, the show that's all about the G. I'm Kendall Stewart.
And I'm Chris Pina. We are 4 weeks into the school year, and I feel like I've finally gotten a handle on my schedule and classes.
I know, Chris. My intro to plant science class is definitely my hardest class so far. But let's quit the chit-chat and get on with our show. You've got the first story today.
Thanks, Kendall. Did you see last week's shutout of Raleigh, Egypt? The Red Devil football team hopes to keep up the momentum going tonight when they take on Mississippi powerhouse South Panola. Last Friday, they blew the Pharaohs out of the water, 50-0, securing our 14th straight regular season win. Mekhi Robbins had a strong showing in his first start at quarterback. The junior ran for a 16-yard touchdown and completed 7 of 9 throws. Darion Rogers had 3 catches for 59 yards and had a quarterback sack. It was a good start, but tonight is the real test.
And make sure, student body, make sure we're at the game Friday night. We're at DeSoto Central. It's a white out. Get your white G-Town, One-Town shirts on, and let's go in.
Come support the team tonight as they play South Panola at DeSoto Central at 5 p.m.
So far, this season has been a roller coaster ride for our volleyball team, who are currently 3-1. In their first game, the Lady Red Devils took on Carterville. Even though they suffered a hard loss, they redeemed themselves in the game against Southwind. It was a back-and-forth battle with both teams leaving everyone on the edge of their seats. In the end, our Lady Red Devils pulled through and secured a win. This week, they took on Kingsbury and Cordova, securing another 2 more wins. The volleyball team is back on the court this Tuesday against White Station. The freshman game starts at 4:30, JV at 5:30, and varsity at 6:30. Hope to see you there.
Do you catch yourself tuning into the new Promethium Boards in the lunchroom? Those TVs were installed over the summer and were the brainchild of Dr. Stencil. School announcements, birthdays, Bellmaker bonus winners, and our very own Red Devil channel can be seen throughout the lunch period. There are even classes that meet in the cafeteria to use the interactive boards.
Well, we try to make sure that the content on the boards are engaging, okay? We know that students tend to like anything related to music, anything that is current and in the now. So just doing things that are of interest, genuine interest to the students. We have lots of scenes.
Be sure to pay attention to the Promethium Boards during lunch throughout the year.
What's in a name? If you've ever wondered why it seems like GHS buildings were assigned random letters, we're here to tell you that it wasn't actually random.
Yeah, the letters actually represent parts of our school history. GHS Insider reporter Michelle Yu is here to tell us more about it.
Hey everyone, I'm very excited to give you a little bit of GHS history. First of all, the land where our school was built was purchased in 1910. The 1st through 12th grade school opened in 1911. Fast forward to 1974, that school was demolished and replaced by the new Germantown High School. Now, the first building that was built sits at the center of our campus. We call it A Building. It was given that name as other buildings were being built. A is the first letter of the alphabet, so you get the picture. Let's go to B Building. Now, I can't confirm if this is the second building built, but what I can tell you is our science building has the letter B because of the biology classes taught there. Now, let's move to the letter C. C building got its name from former Principal Ernest Chisholm. Mr. Chisholm was principal of GHS from 1973 to 2002, and his office was in C office. Did you know Germantown Middle School used to be on this campus? If you guessed it was an M building, then you are correct. M is for middle school. GMS was housed here until the current middle school building was constructed. This is why it also has a principal's office. Dr. Stencil's office in M building became the office for all GHS principals when Dr. Lonnie Harris succeeded Principal Chisholm in 2002. That brings up to MA building. We know what M stands for. Now I can tell you that A stands for Annex. It was the second building used by the old GMS. Now the next letter of the alphabet is S. S is short for shop. This houses our carpentry and automotive classes. It's also the smallest of all the buildings on campus. Finally, we get V. While I like to think V stands for victory, it actually means vocational. Before a rebrand to college, career, and technical education, all of the classes in V building were called vocational classes. This is also where GHS-TV is located. That was a lot of information. GHS is one of the only schools in the whole county with multiple classroom buildings on its campus. However, when we move to the new campus, we will all be in one building, like one big happy family. Reporting for GHS Insider, I'm Michelle Yu.
In today's Campus Corner, we are learning more about the reestablishment of the Future Business Leaders of America organization here on campus.
FBLA provides members with opportunities to compete in business-related competitions and develop essential leadership and career skills. Today, we are speaking with Ashley Bolanos to give you information about the club and how to join. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi.
So, Ashley, who came up with the idea to restart the FBLA?
So, Mrs. Coleman remembers how well Germantown chapter of FBLA represented our district from being top contenders in local, state, and national conferences to state officers. So we're back to the norm and we're ready to get our organization back up. We're ready for the return of the Red Devils.
Well, why did you want to get on the ground level and join?
I was approached by Mrs. Coleman, and she was very enthusiastic and passionate about FBLA, and I just loved the atmosphere and the energy she was giving me, so I wanted to be a part of that.
Now, can anyone join, or are there requirements to be in the FBLA?
There are no requirements to be an FBLA. Although there are dues, it's a small price to pay for the amount of fun we'll have at meetings.
Do you know when the first meeting will be?
Our first meeting will be the 9th of September. We meet on the first Mondays of each month. But for now, because Labor Day falls on the first Monday of September, it's going to be the 9th.
And lastly, what do the students joining the FBLA look forward for this year?
So this year we'll have 3 conferences, which equal to 3 field trips. At those conferences, it'll be great business meetings to be at for your future. And then at meetings as well, we'll have a lot of activities and we'll be taught a lot of strategies. We'll be teaching the students some good strategies, and it'll just be a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for speaking with us today, Ashley. We hope the FBLA has a successful year.
Thank you.
The countdown to homecoming has started. Applications for this year's homecoming court are open for girls in all grades. See the posters around school for the QR code application. The deadline to apply is September 15th. There are some requirements if you make it to the final ballot. Those include paying a $250 donation to Make-A-Wish and a 250-word biography.
Block schedules are becoming more popular around the country and here at home. 2 years ago, Collierville High School implemented a 4x4 schedule.
And this year, GHS is trying out one of our own. But how are people adjusting? GHS Insider reporter Caitlin Jeffries and videographer Joshua Ashford asked around.
I never really had block schedule. I felt like the normal schedule was better than the block schedule.
The block schedule is very interesting. I'm not really so used to it. Well, I'm still trying to get the hang of it since we don't do it, day to day. We just do it one day, skip a day, then do it the next day.
It gives us that enough flexibility to be able to do what we need to do with the students.
It's given me ample opportunity to work with all of my kids, especially with all of the class changes and students arriving to school late.
We don't really have time to be in the class and actually learn something sometimes.
It depends on the day itself and it depends on which class, because some classes have a lot more work for me to, do.
I really wouldn't change the schedule, really. I just keep it the same.
We all know what to expect. We all know what's coming. And then 3 days a week, we get to see all of our students. So we have the opportunity not only for an extended period where we can have higher engagement, but then we also have the consistency of seeing our kids 3 days a week.
So I wouldn't change anything about it.
The teachers here at GHS are always working, but sometimes they need a break. So that's where the Friday Cafe comes in. Every Friday, the teachers can come to the library to sweeten up their morning.
Pastries and treats and different foods and things teachers have pitched in, set your day off really well.
We provide coffee and treats, in the morning for our Friday Cafe, but the most ideal situation is for clubs and teams and sponsors and groups of friends to volunteer and say, hey, we want to sponsor it.
I love the Friday Cafe because it just gives me an opportunity to see all the faculty members across campus that I don't get to see every single day because we're so busy doing our job in our classrooms. And always, there's coffee.
If you would like to sponsor a Friday Cafe, contact Mrs. Alter.
GHS clubs and organizations are contacting new members and setting up meetings after the annual GHS Club Fair.
GHS Insider reporter Joshua Ashford alongside videographers Amir Abdur-Rashid and I talked to two clubs about the impact the fair has had on their membership.
Hey guys, there's more than 40 clubs and organizations here at the club fair, representing all kinds of interests, from baking and games to language and anime. Joining me to share more about their groups, Mr. Mazer, advisor to Modern Film Club, and Nia Finley, the president of the debate team. Thanks for talking to me today. Nia, for those who are new to GHS, what is the debate team and what are some of the activities you guys do?
Okay, so we debate over U.S. and international topics, and it's great for learning about topics in general and also being able to debate both sides of an argument.
Mr. Mazer, what would the Modern Film Club be doing this year?
We have a lot of plans for the Modern Film Club this year. We plan to bring the clinicians from the business industry, and also the local filmmaker, which will work with our students, on different projects, starting from the short film to the documentary. We're also going to view several films and discussing them. We will do like a film night.
Nia, can anyone join the debate team? And what is the time commitment?
So anybody is welcome to join, and we typically meet twice a week from 2:30 to like 3:30, so like just an hour of your day after school.
Mr. Mazer, what about the Modern Film Club? Can anyone join, and what is the meetings?
The whole purpose of the film club is just give to the student opportunity outside of the curriculum, do a lot of things in terms of making films, making documentaries, meeting with the professionals, and kind of get deeper, in the art of the filmmaking.
Well, thank you again for joining me, and good luck to all you organizations.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Reporting for GHS Insider, I'm Joshua Ashford.
That's show number 2 in the books for us here at GHS Insider. If you have a story you'd like to see on the show, scan the QR codes around campus to submit your idea.
And remember, you can follow us on Instagram. Our handle is GHS-TV. Next week is the premiere of GHS-TV's national award-winning show, Crosstalk, with Calvin Nicholson.
The show has a new look and new podcast-style format featuring a peer panel of GHS students. The first topic of the season, cell phone bans in school. So be sure to tune in.
As for us, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for a brand new GHS Insider.